another answer? Anyone with another answer? What are electromagnetic waves? What are electromagnetic waves? Okay, no answer. So electromagnetic waves, you can simply say, are waves that travel in a vacuum. Okay, electromagnetic waves are waves that travel in a what? In a vacuum. Now, under electromagnetic waves, we have different types of waves, and the waves are summarized in what we call the electromagnetic spectrum. So the electromagnetic spectrum consists of electromagnetic waves that range from the electromagnetic waves with lower frequencies to electromagnetic waves with higher frequencies. What we simply mean is that the electromagnetic waves range from electromagnetic waves with the longest wavelength to electromagnetic waves with the shortest wavelength. So the electromagnetic spectrum consists of different types of electromagnetic waves. And so we are going to start by you telling me the electromagnetic waves that are in the longest wavelength, okay, in the group of the longest wavelength. So how it goes is that the lower the frequency, the longer the wavelength. The lower the frequency, the longer the wavelength. Which simply means the higher the frequency, the shorter the what? The wavelength. The higher the frequency, the lower the wavelength. So we are going to start with those of lower frequencies or longer wavelength. Number one, Hector. The electromagnetic wave with the lowest frequency and the longest wavelength. Good try, yes? Good try, yes? Yeah, so radio waves are the electromagnetic waves. So radio waves are the electromagnetic waves with the lowest frequency and the highest wavelength. Yes? Okay, yeah, and so I expect answers. So radio waves are electromagnetic waves with the lowest frequency and the longest wavelength. So what comes into your mind when you talk about radio waves? What comes into your mind just upon hearing radio waves? What comes into your mind? Anyone with an idea, opinion, suggestion? Yes?
When I hear of radio waves, I normally think about the waves which travel through radio materials like radio.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, no one. So, okay, yes. Okay, waves that are radioactive. What do you mean by waves that are radioactive? So you're just saying things.
Yes.
Anyone with another? Just what you think when you hear radio waves. Maganza chan, mugamera radio waves. Mugamera radio waves.
Sounds which are produced from a device to be projected with a certain frequency so that you can hear it.
Okay, so no waves are. Radio waves are waves that are produced from charged particles that move to and fro in instruments such as an antenna, okay? Such as an antenna. Radio waves are waves that are produced when charged particles move to and fro in instruments such as. So, what is an antenna? Yes?
I think this is a device. I don't know if I can say device that is more like give signal to something.
Okay, give signal. Anyone with yes, Hector?
An antenna is a wire which gives or sends a signal to the device.
Okay, good. So just like you have said, okay. So we therefore find that radio waves are waves that are produced when charged move to Waves that are produced when charged particles move to and fro in instruments such as antenna. So, my sister and brother just gave a good definition of what antenna is. So, device that gives signal, right? Radio waves are waves that transmit information from the antenna on the broadcasting stand to the antenna on the radio or television. What am I trying to say? So, first, before I say that, I'm going to talk about FM and AM. On your radio, you are going to find something written FM, or AM, right? So when radio waves are being transferred, they might vary in either frequency or amplitude. Okay, they might vary in either frequency or amplitude, and the variation in frequency of a radio wave and amplitude of a radio wave is known as modulation. Okay, modulation or modulation, as you can say, modulation. So when radio waves are being transferred from the antenna on the broadcasting stand to the antenna on your radio or television, they might vary either in frequency or amplitude. So the variation between the frequency of a radio wave and the amplitude of a radio wave is known as modulation. So this is how we come about FM and AM. AM is frequency modulation and AM is what? Amplitude modulation. So if a broadcasting stand, with ZNBC, vakacha release information for broadcasting stand yabo in form of frequency modulation. Iwe pa radio ukatenina ku FM uzambira vaine vacha spread. Much understand? So this simply means AM still upgrade to mark and go FM. So what I mean? Because the hopes are in frequency modulation and in amplitude modulation. The variant national come radio waves are waves that transfer information